always hit the nail on the head. So check this out, my Miami Hurricane fans, my Florida State Seminoles, and my Florida Gators. As you guys can see, transfer portal. College football transfer portal. It's a never-ending process. Well, it'll come to an end sometime. But anyways, man, before we get into this video, guys, do me a huge favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the channel with a Florida State fan, a Florida Gator fan, and of course, a Miami Hurricane fan. It's 100% free, so hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It's free. It's free. It don't cost you a thing. You got to do nothing to hit the subscribe button and, of course, like the video. But anyways, let's talk about what got the whole college football world on pause right now before we get into the whole transfer portal thing. Nick Saban retired. Plain and simple. He retired. His replacement, of course, they said it would have happened within the next 72 hours. Well, it's happened. Washington's head coach that just lost, unfortunately for him, in the national championship against Michigan is the new coach, DeBoer. Washington Huskies, DeBoer. As you guys know, Washington will be moving into the Big Ten this season, along with Oregon, USC, and UCLA. So, he won't be going into the Big Ten. He'll actually be going into the SEC as basically the new head coach of Alabama. Tough shoe to fill. So, good luck to him at Alabama. Hopefully the fans don't run him out of town after 2 years. Let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about that. How long do you think he'll last at, Alabama? All right, so transfer portal. Actually, before we get into that, let's address the elephant in the room. Well, technically the Indian in the room. Well, technically the guy that... Let's talk about Mike Norvell. Plain and simple, Mike Norvell. A lot of people are saying that Mike Norvell was offered the Alabama job and, he turned it down. As you guys seen today, Mike Norvell got an extension with the Florida State Seminoles. So Mike Norvell will now be making $10 million a year. I'm going to say allegedly, but I've heard some things from behind the scenes, from some people in some high places that's confirmed what I thought to be. And it is what it is. Can't say no names. If I do say names, they're going to deny it, and I'm going to look like a fool anyway. So, basically, man, Alabama did not offer Mike Norvell that job. They did not. They didn't even give him a dollar amount or anything like that. Allegedly, Mike Norvell agent did a hell of a job in making sure that Mike Norvell was compensated, whether it's showing the interests of Alabama or, getting Florida State to buy in more to feel like they're in jeopardy of losing this guy, which they never was. Alabama never planned on hiring Mike Norvell, but it did give the fans enough scare. It did give the school enough scare, and of course they extended him, giving him more money, lock him in. Let's just be honest. FSU right now at this point cannot afford to start over. Let's just say it. Mike Norvell got him in a good position right now. You can say it's a Cinderella story gone bad at the end and everything like that, but at the end of the day, Mike Norvell was in there 3-6, 5-7, 10, now 13 wins. Yeah, that's a guy that you really want to lock in, and even if there's a false finesse of a threat of him going to a Alabama to follow behind a Nick Saban, kind of threat, you kind of want to put that out, put that little fire out. There was no fire, but I guess Florida State fans created the smoke. The agent ran. The agent's gonna run with what they run with. It is what it is. Shout out to Dan Lennon for putting it out there that he was not interested. Shout out to all the other people, that put it out there that they were not interested, even if they were never offered to begin with anyway, That's tough. But anyways, transfer portal. The University of Miami, there's not much going on right now in the transfer portal. There are some visits, though, by the way, that's headed our way. There's a receiver out of JUCO, but more than likely won't be signing until in February. He does have Miami at the top of the list, but I don't want to really talk about these guys unless they're actually committing and everything like that. So I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But 6'5", 205 pounds, 6'5" guy. As you guys know, we just lost a tall wide receiver in Cody Young to Georgia. So to bring in another guy that's a little bit more faster and around the same body type, that would be great. That would be great. Definitely more faster. Don't really want to get into the anyways, let's move on from it. No really major move in the transfer portal. I did not check and see if anybody else in the transfer portal outgoing found a new home. So we could stroll through while we're at it. Brashard Smith is still in there. Cyrus Moss is still in there. Chant Williams still hasn't found a home. Who else? Who else hasn't found a home yet? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nobody else has found a home. So that's pretty much it for the Miami transfer portal. Let's check out Florida State because there's some movement that happened in that one. Obviously nobody committed today. Well, I'm sorry, somebody did commit today, but we're gonna get into that a little bit more into the Gator board of transfer portal. So obviously, not quite much movement, with the Mike Norvell putting Tallahassee on pause for the whole day or whatever just to get a bigger contract. Yeah, not much movement in the transfer portal for them at all. So let's talk about the one that actually did hit the transfer portal from Florida State. Dennis Bridges hit the transfer portal. This is a huge hit for them. This is a veteran presence on their defensive line. So obviously the guys are seeing the writing on the wall. You want to bring in this guy, bring in that guy, give away the snaps, lessen certain snaps. We're gonna go somewhere else where we can play, and get the snaps that we think that we deserve, or in some cases the NIL money that we think we deserve. So Dennis is up out of there, man. Dennis entered the transfer portal today. So good luck to him wherever he lands. I'm pretty sure there's a school out there that could use a Dennis. So Florida State fans, tell me how you guys feel about Dennis hitting the portal on y'all. Possibly going somewhere else. Also, let's run through the list to see if any other Florida State guys found a new home. No, we talked about Goldie. He's already Mark Rodemaker. We already knew where he was going. Let's see. Nobody wants the kicker. Who else? Anybody else found a new home? As we go through the list. Oh, the guy with no picture. Possibly a walk on. He's a tight end. He found a new home. He's going over to Buffalo. So that's a guy with a new home. Daylon Brown Turner. He found a new home. He's a linebacker transferred from Florida State. He's going to UTEP. So some of these guys actually found some homes. But that's pretty much it. DJ Lundy, I told you guys in my last video, withdraw his transfer portal. He once committed to Colorado and then decided that, I'm just gonna go back to Florida State. Maybe they coughed up the money or whatever that he needed, and he said, I'm going back. But like I told you guys, I was gonna save one for the Florida Gators. Obviously, I told you guys, man, transferring from rival to rival seemed to be a thing nowadays. Richie Leonard has transferred from the Florida Gators to the Florida State Seminoles. Richie Leonard has transferred from the Florida State to the Florida State Seminole from the Florida Gators. Gator Nation, let me know in the comment section how you guys are feeling about this. A baby lizard is transferring to the Seminoles. Ain't that something? That's crazy. Like I said, no updates really for the Gators. Nobody really incoming. But let's just run through the list real quick to see if anybody found a new home. Manny Noonery, he just entered the portal as of today officially, but we reported it yesterday. No home yet. Richie, of course, gone to Florida State. Everybody else on the list so far that I'm seeing has already found a home. Will Norman still hasn't found a home. All these other guys we've went through them. They all. The tight end, Andrew, he's found a new home at Nevada. He's going to Nevada. So, good luck to him at Nevada. Yeah, nobody else really found a home that's been on this list. So, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing for the Gators. Seems like each school, the big three, have their issues right now with, transfers. At any given moment, anybody could transfer. Also, guys, keep in mind, transfer portal will get active. Alabama got a new coach. Washington just lost their coach to Alabama. So there's going to be a lot of guys that enter the transfer portal. We all know it. It's inevitable. Perfect example, Isaiah Bond. Remember Isaiah Bond caught the winning touchdown against Auburn for Alabama to actually help them to get to the SEC championship, to possibly get to the playoffs and all that. Well, Isaiah Bond has entered the transfer portal. Number one spot that's being predicted for him is Texas. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of guys that hit the transfer portal from Alabama and Washington. And, of course, Michigan just won a championship. But there's going to be some unhappy folks that, didn't get play time that they think they deserve. And you'll see some guys hit the portal from there, too. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Don't forget Texas, too. All the teams that was in the playoff, all 4 teams that was in the playoffs, you'll start seeing a lot of those transfers start popping up. So, schools are going to start getting their picks of this one and that one, of which one they want. Obviously, you guys know Mike Norvell is the portal god. So he's going to reach into a portal and probably grab as many as he can to rebuild a team to possibly go, whatever it is that they go this year. 12-team playoffs, so they might not keep them out this time. But, as much as Florida State fans hate Kirk Herbstreit and hate ESPN and think that the whole world is against them, they might just finish this season outside of the playoff at number 13. That's tough.